Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Golden Kamuy episode 4. So last episode, um, oh god, Sirpa and Sugimoto. I figured that was right, but had to make sure. So Sirpa and Sugimoto were well when it started they were eating, and she had made some like I guess you can call it like a meatball soup with like rabbit, um, and they're eating, and Sugimoto's like, this is really good, but it would probably be better with miso, and she doesn't know what miso is, so he pulls out this little container, I don't know about that big, and opens it up, and starts going on about how that's poop. And he's like, no, it's not. It's miso. She'll no, that's poop. You're gonna eat poop. He's all, I'm not eating poop. So he pours it, like gets a couple of, I guess, spoonfuls and puts it in, mixes it in, eats it. It's like, this is even better now. So, sure you don't want any? And she's just making a face. And later she's showing him locations where there are little bear dens, like made out of, like where a tree has collapsed. She lets him know that if you see icicles and something else, but if you see that, then that means there's a bear in there. And he's like, okay, yeah, there's icicles on this one. So okay, and mentions that her father had told her before that a bear will not kill anybody who goes inside its den. And he's like, yeah, no thank you. I'm not going inside. I'm not going inside its den. And as they're walking, Sirpa notices some kind of glint in the mountain. And she's asking him, what is that over there? It's like something shining over there. And he sees it and he's like, oh man, those are binoculars. We gotta get out of here. Because it's the 7th Division. And they are... Excuse me. I don't think they're specifically tracking them down, but they are definitely looking for, like, the prisoners. And I believe they know about him. So if they happen to find him, then great. And they're on skis, so they're going to catch up pretty quick. So they start running. And the Sirpa tells them, jump into the bamboo bushes, and it'll hide our footprints much better. So they do that. And he stops and tells her, they're after me. They're not going to do anything to you because you're a kid. So you go off that way, and I'll lead them over here. So they go their separate ways. And I think there's like 4 of the 7th Division guys there. And 3 of them go to find Sugimoto. And one of them is told to go and find the little girl. So it's Sirpa. And he's apparently, he knows how to hunt and track. He mentions what kind of, I guess, family he's from. And he ends up noticing that, like, the footprints, they stop at a certain point, but he's not fooled by it. He's like, okay, so I've seen animals do this before, where they try to cover up their tracks by carefully walking back into their old tracks so that you don't know where they are, and then you jump into a bamboo bush to hide, wherever you're going. And he looks and sees a bamboo bush, looks up in the tree and sees her up there and tells her, just come on down. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm looking for your friend. And she speaks in her native language. And he's like, man, I don't understand anything she is saying. He starts saying things like, I'm not going to eat you. Just come down here. So she puts the drawings from the prisoners up in the tree, like on a couple of branches, and she comes down. Unfortunately, a squirrel looking for revenge knocked the cloth down, like right after that. So this guy found it and was like, "Oh, okay. So where did you get this?" And she was going to, I think she was going to try to disable him, not kill him. She was going for her bow, and he tells her, just drop the bow. So she does, and it's not looking good for her, but then her wolf comes out of the forest and attacks the guy. Meanwhile, Sugimoto is running towards one of the bear dens, and he gets stopped by the three that were after him, and one of them recognizes him. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. And calls him Immortal Sugimoto. That's his nickname. So, mentions that the one guy that he ran into before in episode 2 actually wrote down Immortal. So, they know he's the one that killed him. Or at least badly injured him. I don't remember if he's dead or not. But, or maybe it was episode 3. No, I think it was episode 2. Yeah. Because I'm talking about episode 3 right now. So they're pointing their guns at him, telling him to come down, and he starts running and yelling that he's immortal, and jumps into the bear den. And they look inside and are like, all right, so he's in a bear den. Somebody go in and get him. And they're like, why do we even have to go in? Let's just shoot. And one of them shoots his gun. And then the next thing you know, a bear comes out. A mother bear. And kills 2 of them right away. And then one of them starts fighting back. He's got like a bayonet and he stabs the bear in the side. He fights with the bear and he ends up killing it, but he dies as well. And then Sugimoto comes out of the den carrying a cub and just repeats what Asurpa told him, that, people who go into a bear's den won't get attacked. And then back to Asurpa, her wolf is messing this dude up and getting ready to go for the kill, like he's going for the throat. But she stops him. And the dude's out. Like, he's not gonna fight back. And then she just starts playing with the wolf. And then Sugimoto comes walking up. He's got the bear hidden in his jacket, hoping that she doesn't notice, because he thinks that she's gonna want to eat him. And as she's playing with the wolf, he walks up and he's like, okay, so what's going on here? And she looks up and the bear is like poking his head out of his jacket. And she's like, Sugimoto, what is that? And he's like, this is nothing. Don't worry about that. And he starts going on about how he'll take care of it. He'll make sure that it's fed and, well taken care of. And she's like, do you even know how to take care of a bear? A bear cub? And he's like, no. So they go to her village. Apparently they take bear cubs. Like, I guess if the mother is dead and they find a bear cub, they'll take the bear cub in and they'll raise it for a couple of years, and then they will, as they say, return it home, but not in a let's return it to the forest, more of a we're going to kill it and have it go back to, I guess, where it came from, because they consider, I guess, the bears gods. Same with like all the other animals. But she explains it a whole lot better than I do. And then she also explains how, because he meets this one kid and she gives him his name, and it's like some weird name, and he thinks it's a joke, and she's like, no, that's really his name. When kids are under the age of, I think it was like 6 or 8, something like that, they're given really dirty names like poop or something like that, and that way the like sickness and stuff will stay away from them. And I think it was up until, and after that point they're giving a name that fits their personality and things that they have done and stuff like that. Let's see. We then see I think it was a lieutenant for the 7th Division. He's the guy from the end of episode 2 that had like this part of his face like burned off or something. He's still looking for the prisoners, and a captain actually comes up because it's actually his men that he's been using, and he's really upset because one of them is critically wounded in the hospital and 3 of them are missing. One of them being the guy that a surplus wolf was attacking. He actually woke up, fixed his leg because it was broken, and thought to himself that he was going to hunt down the wolf and kill it, which I don't know why you would want to do if they're supposed to be extinct. Why are you going to kill the very last one? But I guess it was his hunter instincts because he was talking about the pelt and how he wanted it. So, yeah. Anyway, this captain is trying to talk to this lieutenant and tell him, you can't be doing this. You're not fit to run this like division. And he's pointing his finger at him, and that's when the lieutenant bites his finger off. And then they kill the captain. Captain orders them to shoot, and they did, but they shot him. And then they cut to, I believe it's like a brothel or something. And this one guy, one of the prisoners, is there, and he's visited by the Shinsengumi guy. I can't remember his name. They have a short fight, but he's actually not there to kill him. He starts telling him, look, I want your help. I want you to come with me to help find the prisoners, and shows him the drawings and says, look, you don't even have to kill them. All we got to do is get this cloth on the skin and like kind of trace out the map. And the guy was like, well, why are you gathering a lot of people? And he goes, because we're going to eventually have to fight the 7th Division, so I'm going to need a lot of people to help out. And that's basically where it ended. So let's get into this episode and see what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going down. So the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.